तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अतुलित बलधामं हेम शैलावदेहं दनुजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनौ रघुपति बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा सविकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीस तिहुँ लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा। कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनि देखो रसिया। राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा। विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। दीन रूप धरि असुर संहारे। रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए से जीवन लखन जियाए। श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति की बहुत बड़ाई तुम ब्रह्म कुबेर दिगपाल जहाँ दे, कभी कोविद कही सके कहाँ दे। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना, राम मिलाय राजपद दीना। तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेली मुख माही, जल लांगी गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। हो जन आज्ञा मेनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा। तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज समारो आपे। तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, तब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे। सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारो युग परताप तुम्हारा। हे प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के राजा। असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे। जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जय जय हनुमान गोसाई, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मन मुकुर सुधारि। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बोले पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। राम राम रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया। राम राम रटते रटते राम रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया। रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, रघुकुल हिलनी की डगरिया। राम राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। मैं शबरी बिलनी की जाई, मैं शबरी बिलनी की जाई। भजन भाव नहीं जानू रे, भजन भाव नहीं जानू रे। राम तुम्हारे दर्शन के हित, राम तुम्हारे दर्शन के हित। वन में जीवन पालू रे, वन में जीवन पालू रे। चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो, चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो। दासी की चौपड़िया। राम राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। राम राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे। बिलने की डगरिया। राम राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। राम राम रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया। रोज सवेरे वन में जाकर, रोज सवेरे वन में जाकर। रस्ता साफ कराती हूँ, रस्ता साफ कराती हूँ।
रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया
सुंदर श्याम सलोनी सूरत
सुंदर श्याम सलोनी सुंदर
नयनों बीच बसाऊंगी
नयनों बीच बसाऊंगी
पद पंकज की रज थर मस्तक जीवन सफल कराऊंगी
जीवन सफल बनाऊंगी
प्रभु की मुझको प्रभु जी मुझको भूल गए क्या दासी की
गगरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया
रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे
रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे दिल की डगरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया
नाथ तुम्हारे दर्शन की नित
नाच तुम्हारे दर्शन नित
मैं अब लायक नारी हूँ
मैं अब लायक नारी हूँ
दर्शन बिन दो नैना तर से
दर्शन बिन दो नैना सर से
सुन लो बहुत दुखारी हूँ
सुन लो बहुत सुखारी हूँ
मुझको दर्शन दे दो दया में
दर्शन दे
डालो एक
नजरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया
रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे
रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे बिन की गगरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया रामा रचचे रचचे बीच रे उमरिया
श्याम रामचंद्र की जय. Okay, so let me welcome all of you to this satsang today. This is first in-person satsang for the year, I think. We had in-person satsang for this year? No. I thought so. No. So, our topic today is humble Hanuman. Humble Hanuman. And just now we sang in Hanuman Chalisa, and Hanumanji is well known to all of us. In fact, it is said in the tradition, and this tradition started long in the Bhagavad Puran time. Huh? What is that tradition? That story comes when the great Gajendra was caught by a crocodile. And Bhagwan Vishnu came to save him. Gajendra was a king in a former birth who was born as an elephant. And that elephant was in a pond somewhere, and a crocodile grabbed his foot. And Bhagwan came to save him. And he said to Bhagwan in the Bhagavad Puran, Bhagwan took his Sudarshan Chakra and he released it at that crocodile. Bhagavad Puran describes that Jiva left that crocodile's body and went and merged with Bhagwan only. So Gajendra, Gaja Indra, he was the Bhakta of Bhagwan. Bhagwan came to save him. And in saving him, gave mukti to that crocodile. The crocodile merged with Bhagwan. And then when we see that story in Bhagavad Puran, many people have questioned. I say, you came to save the crocodile or you came to save this Gajendra? And then the answer to that in the Bhakti Marga is, those who hold on to the feet of the Bhakta. As the crocodile was holding on to the foot of this Gajendra, who was the Bhakta. Those who hold on to the feet of the Bhakta, that person reaches Bhagwan before the Bhakta also. And so, from Bhagavad time this is there, and here now, Hanumanji and Bhagwan Ram. Hanumanji is Param Bhakta, and Bhagwan Ram is Parameshwara. Parameshwara and Parama Bhakta. And people have, because of that tradition, worshipped Hanumanji for millennia. Because he is the Bhakta, and worshipping the Bhakta, want to reach Bhagwan even before Bhakta. Bhakta is actually, Hanumanji is called a Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi, you know? Chiranjeevi means he lives forever till the end of the Kalpa, till this whole universe dissolves. Till that time he lives. Chiranjeevi. Along with few others, like Kakabhushundi and few. They are called Chiranjeevi. So Hanumanji Chiranjeevi, he also doesn't merge with Bhagwan, but the one who holds on to his feet, he merges with Bhagwan. So, who holds on to the feet of the devotee reaches the Lord before the devotee even. And because of this tradition, Hanumanji's worship has become very, very, very popular all over. Hanuman temples are there, more than Sri Ram temples even. And at the same time, see the popularity of Hanumanji. At the same time, Hanumanji is incarnation of Lord Shiva. So he is a Bhakta of Ram. So everybody worship because he is a Bhakta of the Supreme Lord, Parameshwara. So all people are worshipping in the Vaishnava tradition, Hanumanji, because he is a Bhakta, and when you worship the Bhakta, you reach before the Bhakta even. So because of that reason, Vaishnava tradition, everybody worship Hanumanji, and so many Hanuman temples are there everywhere. And on this side, he is incarnation of Lord Shiva, in the Shaiva tradition. So because the incarnation of Lord Shiva, he gets popularity on this side also. That fellow is so well poised in the middle, in between the two, and he is getting worshipped from both sides, from the Vaishnava tradition side also, and from the Shaiva tradition, both things. So it's because of these reasons, and of course because of many other reasons which we will see today, he is very popular. So, the topic we have chosen is his humility, humble Hanuman. Now let me tell you something. In both the Bhakti Marg, in the Bhakti tradition, in the tradition of devotion, and in Jnana Marg, both of them, because these are the two main margs, Bhakti Marg and Jnana Marg. The path of devotion and the path of knowledge. These are the two main paths. The karma yoga fits under this Bhakti only. You have to have love for Bhagwan, love for the society, and love for humanity, and do seva, karma yoga, right? That fits under Bhakti only, because of the love and dedication. So now, in the Bhakti Marg and in the Jnana Marg, in two of them, two main strands, head and heart. This is Bhakti heart, Jnana is head. So the two main strands of spiritual practices coming out of the East, there is one single truth, and it is this. Please pay attention to this now. humility and selflessness, these two things, humility and selflessness, are the measures of jnana. And what that means? It means if a person acquires all the jnana in the world, all the knowledge in the world, and he hasn't developed humility and selflessness, his knowledge amounts to zero. Humility and selflessness are the measures of knowledge, of jnana. So this, you see, it is said, that this knowledge which a person, vidya vinayam dadati. This is the Sanskrit phrase. Huh? Vidya vinayam dadati means knowledge gives vinaya. Vinaya means humility. So if I have gotten all this knowledge, I have this knowledge, that knowledge, the other thing, I know, and there are some people who know every topic on the earth. Anything you say, they have some jnana about that thing. Huh? So if I have all of this knowledge and it has not led to this vinayam, to humility, then it has not borne fruit. That is like, now when you plant a papaya tree and you call it a male papaya tree in your yard, that is the most common male trees you just find. Right? When you plant a papaya tree and you discover some months after it is a male papaya tree, what do? Sorry to say, but there's only one thing to do. That is, that thing is not going to give any fruit. In the same way, if I have all of the jnana and it doesn't give vinayam, oh bapre. The other thing is, the papaya tree, the solution is easy. Dekhiye zara. For the papaya tree, this thing is not going to give any fruit, right? So the solution is easy. When all of this jnana comes and it doesn't give humility, the solution is not easy. All of the knowledge comes and it doesn't give humility, the solution is not easy, because what happens is that knowledge gets poisoned by the internal durgunas, and then knowledge becomes a weapon to lick down other people. This is the problem. The knowledge becomes a stick to beat and to swell the ego, and the problem is intractable. So, in the worldly solution, the very easy thing. Male papaya tree, finish. And knowledge that doesn't bear fruit of vinayam. So, now Hanumanji is that one who is the very embodiment of this humility, the very embodiment of selflessness. These two measuring rods for knowledge. Means that those who have acquired these things, that means that person has real jnana. That is the idea, real knowledge. And his humility and his selflessness comes very nicely in Ramayana. Now see this. This is in Sundarkanda. You would have chanted many times, because we used to have Sundarkand chanting here and temple in the sea and so many places, and I'm sure all of you would have joined and chanted. See these verses from Sundarkand. Hanumanji returns from Lanka and he reports about his mission to Bhagwan Ram. And Bhagwan Ram said, Hanuman, alone you went and alone confronted that whole Ravan's army and burned down that city and everything, all alone? How you were able to do this thing? And Hanumanji replies in these most wonderful lines. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
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 Prabhu Prasanna Jnana Hanumana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Bola bachan vigat abhimana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
साखा मृग के बड़ी मनुसाई.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
साखा ते साखा पर जाई.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
नाघि सिंधु भातक पुर जारा.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
निशिचर जनपति विपिन उजारा.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
सो सब तव प्रताप रघुराई.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
नाथ न कछु मोहि प्रभुताई.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
जय रघुराम,
Jai Raghurama.
जय सीताराम.
Jai Sita Rama.
Syawar Ramachandra ki jai. Scriptures give all of these words as mirrors for all of us. Ram Charita Manas. Ram Charita Manas of Tulsidashi really is a mirror. Mirror means when we look in a mirror, what do you see? You don't see your neighbor. When you look in mirror, you don't see your neighbor. Na? Who you see? Yourself only. So the scripture is there as a mirror so that when we look, we'll see ourselves. In other words, how do I measure up to these words? And don't think, human beings have this habit. One, how does my wife measure up to these words? How does my husband measure up to these words? How do my children measure up to these words? How do my parents measure up to these words? That is not the purpose of scriptures. There is only one question to ask. How do I measure up to these words? That is like you standing on the bank and you want to row the boat for the other person to go to the other side. If you standing on the bank, how you will row the boat for the other person to go on the other side? The one who is in the boat, he has to row. But you stand on the bank and blow, foo, 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 like that, it will go or what? No, the one who is in the boat, he has to row. And spirituality is like that only. You want your wife or your husband to measure up to all of these so that they will move along the path of spirituality. You see about you measuring up only. I should see how I measure up to all of these things. And let me row my own boat. And each person in this world, he will move along the spiritual path and he will merge with God at his pace only. And no matter what you do, in fact, let me tell you something. If you are trying to do something for that person to speed up their spiritual evolution, your spouse or your children or your parents or whoever, friend, neighbor, you're trying to do something for that person to speed up their spiritual evolution, yours is getting slowed down. Because you cannot take anybody along the path. Each person has to row his own. Row your boat merrily down the stream. Because life is but a dream. Bhagavan Shiva is telling you, Uma kahau anubhava apana. Ranyakani telling to Parvati. Uma kahau anubhava apana. I am telling my experience. He is telling to Parvati ji. Anubhava apana means my experience I am telling. Kahau I am telling. Uma, my dear, what is that experience he tells? Eka bhagati. There is only one thing called devotion to Rama Bhagati. Eka Rama Bhagati. Jagat sab sapana. The whole universe is only a dream. There is only one thing. This is my devotion to. Means there is only one thing, the person's own individual spiritual evolution. This is the idea. So now, the words Hanumanji telling, so nice, these lines. You see what happens, we chant Sundarkand and we go at a very fast pace and we don't take time to... Actually, I was doing the Sundarkand in Columbus, Ohio, and at the end one man came and told me, he said, Swamiji, we have a group, a Ramayana group, and we have been chanting this Sundarkand because they have taken a vrata, oath, vow. We have been chanting this Sundarkand for 40 years. Not 4 years, 40 years. And after the yajna, he said, Swami, only today I found out what it meant. So this is what we do. We go at a very fast pace and we chant and all that kind of thing. But I want you to pay attention to all the words. I'll tell you the words of Hanumanji now. And reflect as this being your own mirror. Let it be our own mirror. So what is Bhagwan's words to Hanuman? Hanumanji? Bhagwan's words are, Hanuman, you went there all alone, leaping over this big ocean filled with terrorists, all Rakshasas and all were there on the way. Surasa, Simhika, Ityadi, this dangerous path, you went alone there, and all Rakshasas in Lanka, and single-handedly you were able to do all of these things, burn down this Lanka and everything. How you were able to do it? So that time, Hanumanji reply, of course, is, Bhagavan, you please save me from this praise, because even praises go to the airs, And praises go to the airs. Then from the airs it goes straight to the head. And when it goes to the head, that person gets, chakkar. Chakkar means, in Trinidad language, chakkar is to tulbe. He gets to tulbe. I was praised, He likes this thing. So, Hanumanji immediately falls on the feet of Bhagavan Ram. And he says, Prabhu, you save me, because if this praise goes to my head, then I am finished. There's a long katha in Balkand with Naradji, where praise went to his head. So here, now Hanumanji after that tells Prabhu Prasanna Jana Hanumana, knowing that Bhagavan was very agreeable in a very nice and somber, quiet state. Hanumanji tells to Hanuman, Bola Bachana Vigata Abhimana, Tulsidasi's words. Hanumanji spoke words which were totally devoid of any abhiman. Now the idea is what I was telling you just now. There is humility and selflessness. These are the measures of knowledge. But these two things are connected to the inner personality also. Humility is connected to the ego. And in which way? That I. Means I am this, I am great, I am bigger, I am better, I am always right. Actually, this is a disease of human beings. All of us, we have this disease. I am always right. I am always right. Even if I am wrong, I am right. This is a terrible, terrible disease. Human being never likes to say, I am wrong. He feels if he says, I am wrong, that there will be a diminution in his personality. It will wane and maybe descend into the cracks and disappear. So he never likes to say, I am wrong. In fact, it is the opposite. The person who says, I am wrong, he becomes the bigger person. He doesn't wane. But he feels he'll wane like that, you see. So, humility is connected with the ego in this way. And the other one is selflessness, is connected to a very, very deep philosophical, Vedantic philosophical problem which we have, and it is called in Vedanta as kartritva bhava. Kartritva bhava means I feel I am the doer. Kartritva bhava is a Sanskrit technical word, is a very, very big word. Means the meaning is a big, and that means I feel I am the doer. And I did this, and I did that, and I did the other thing, and without me that would not have been done, it would not have happened, and without me it would not have existed, and all of that sort of thing. This is a very big misunderstanding that the human mind has, kartritva bhava. So, this selflessness is the antidote to this kartritva bhava. Because you just think, na? If I were not there, and Bhagwan wants that thing get done, Bhagwan cannot get it done or what? If he cannot get it done, what Bhagwan he is? So, we always have to remember, if I were not there and Bhagwan wants that thing done, that thing will get done. Now, when you think like that, what happens? You realize that this world is going on by Bhagwan's grace. It's going on because Bhagwan is doing it only. He ordains. बिना भगवान की इच्छा, बिना भगवान की इच्छा हिल न सके एक पत्ता. Without Bhagwan's desire, wish, not a leaf could shake. So he is the one who is in control of this universe, and this universe will go on with or without me. So this type of thinking will get rid of my kartritva bhava, that I am responsible for this, I am doing this, I am doing the other thing. And one mother is telling that child, you are so irresponsible. You are very irresponsible. That child said, no. What do you mean very irresponsible? In school, anything goes wrong, the principal tells me I am responsible. He said, I am very responsible. So, this person has kartritva bhava feeling, I am the one who is responsible for making this world turn. You know, I heard one time very nicely, this thing was put in Ramayana terms. He feels that he belongs to Raghuvamsha. Raghuvamsha means the Bhagwan Ram's lineage. He feels he belongs to Raghuvamsha. So this is in India I heard. So I was wondering what they mean like this, you know. So what they meant, you know, and he explained very nicely. Raghuvamsh means that Rama's lineage that belongs to the Sola dynasty. Sola dynasty means he feels he belongs to Raghuvamsh, means he feels everything is revolving around him. Because everything revolves around the sun. So he feels he belongs to Raghuvamsh. So we should not feel like that without me this thing will not happen, that thing will not happen. I should become absolutely selfless, means remove myself. And this self-abnegation is well known for Hanumanji. So this is what he is doing. That's why Tulsidas in the first line he says, Bigata Abhimana. with no abhiman. It is this thing, the karitritva bhav, I feel I do. And the other one, what is that? That proud feeling that I am so great, I am so lofty, I am so, this, that, with the possession of something. So that humility is not there. So those two things put together, that is called abhiman. So Hanumanji spoke now, Bola Bachan, he spoke the words, Begata Abhimana, without any abhiman. And then what he spoke? Prabhu, you are telling, I burned down this whole Lanka, and I did this, and I did that, and I did the other thing. Let me tell you the truth. He tells Bhagavan Ram, let me tell you the truth, what really happened. What is the truth? He said, Prabhu, Sakha Mriga. Now see how this self-abnegation is there. That brings humility. He says, I am Sakha Mriga. Sakha Mriga is Shakha Mriga. Shakha Mriga means monkey. Well, literally it doesn't mean monkey. Shakha Mriga means animal. Shakha means branch. Branch. So any animal that lives on a branch is called as Shakha Mriga. So he says, Shakha Mriga ke bari manusai. What greatness is there in any animal that lives on branch? I mean monkey. What he does? Sakha te sakha par jai. All he does is goes from branch to branch. Tree to tree. So, what greatness is there in such an animal? His nature is to just jump from branch to branch. And then, they lit my tail. Now, if your tail is lit, what you will do? You see, without lit tail, he jumped from branch to branch. There's always that funny story I could never resist, You know, in the winter time, these Canadian geese, they migrate from Canada and they come down here in winter time. Now this year, because of COVID, they didn't come. But they migrate in the winter time and they come here. So 2 geese were flying south. So this American fighter jet passed the 2 of them like that. Zoom! So one goose is telling the other one. One goose or one geese? Huh? One goose. One goose is telling the other one. He said, boy, speaking about the jet, he said, boy, that fella looked like he's in a real hurry. The other goose said, oh, yeah, you also would have been in a hurry if your tail on fire. Because from the back of the jet, you only see fire that's come out there, isn't it? So, Hanumanji telling to Bhagavan, Prabhu, see, monkeys live on branches and their nature is jump from branch to branch. And now especially when they lit my tail. Now see, that means to say, I did not burn down Lanka, my tail was on fire and my nature is to jump from place to place. And beside that, I did not take any matches to Lanka. I did not take any matches to Lanka, no cotton, no oil, no nothing. You're telling I burned down Lanka. In other words, just now I was telling you that whatever is transpiring in this universe is transpiring by the Purusha Prakriti combination. Purusha means the supreme reality and his Prakriti is Shakti, Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. That Prakriti called Paramesha Shakti, power of Bhagavan. And if I am there or I am not there, things will go on. The universe will transpire. Everything will happen. So immediately there is self-abnegation and there is the removal of kartritva bhav, the responsibility of making things happen. I made this Lanka burn down and all that. I did not take any matches there, no cotton, no wick, no nothing. Oil and tail. They put tail on his tail. Tail in Hindi means oil. Tail in Hindi is oil. And so they put tail on his tail. And they... So, then he says, Nagi Sindhu. The leaping over the ocean. Now he recounts all that happened. Leaping over the ocean. Nagi Sindhu. Hatakapura Jara. The burning down of Lanka. Nisichara Gana Badhi. The killing of all the Rakshasas. So many Rakshasas he killed, including the son of Ravan. Then Bipina Ujara, the uprooting of the trees in the garden and all of that. He says, Prabhu, means all the things that were done. That is the idea. All things that were achieved, acquired, transpired, whatever. He says, so sava tava pratapa ragurai. All of it. Hey Ram, all of it is because of your greatness only, your doing, your glory. Not na kachu mori prabhutai. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. It is not because of any greatness of mine. This is the literal translation. It is not because of any greatness of mine. So what immediately he renounces this claim to success. And this is a big, big thing for human beings. Claim to success, really, if we see. Now we say, we stand on the shoulders of so many people that went before us. And so many people around us who are here also. You think, really, we are very fast to claim success and to possess that success, to hold on to it, to own it up. That is the idea. The success of anything really is because of Bhagwan only. It is Bhagwan who is manifesting through all the things around us that brings success. Suppose I am successful in my university education. You think how many people contributed to that thing? It is incredible. From the maxi taxi driver that took me to school. Correct or not? The maxi taxi driver that took me to school every day, and the doubles man outside the school. If he didn't eat doubles, get food to eat outside the school, what would have happened? You study anything? So all of it put together is really responsible for my success, and all of it is there existing because of whom? Not because of me. You created doubles man or what? We created the doubles man or what? You created doubles? No. We did. So everything around is because of Bhagwan and the teachers who taught and the knowledge that was discovered by this scientist and that scientist. All the knowledge was taught to me, and then I used all of it and I studied and all. And the success in the end, I claim it is mine. I stand up very proudly and say the success is mine. When really, every organism in the universe went into producing that success. You think, see, in the doubles I ate bandanya. In the doubles there was bandanya. You say, every time you eat by the doubles man, you become a Buddhist. What is that? Make me one with everything. And Trinidadians have really nice phrases to tell this. For everything we have nice phrases and tell you. One fellow said, make me one with bara and chana and no pepper. Bara, chana, no pepper. Another one goes, make me one with bara and no chana. Another one goes, everybody has their own peculiarity. Make me one with chana, no bara. What type of doubles is that? Better stay home and cook chana. But anyway, the Chinese have, and they say, make me one with one heavy. Make me one slight. Make me one medium. When a foreigner comes and listens to, make me one heavy, what is that? Heavy and slight. We have nice phrases. Anyway, so you eat banana in the doubles, you know. Without the little sauce and all that in the doubles, they're bland doubles. So you need a little sauce and the banana, pepper, this, that. In the garden, there are little earthworms that aerate the soil. And they are responsible for certain processes under the soil for the banana and the pepper to grow. You thought? The whole universe is actually responsible for every success that emanates or that arises. But we don't think. Quickly our ego comes in there and Hanumanji is relinquishing every ownership of every success. Well, so saba tava pratapa ragurai. All of it is because of your greatness. This is self-abnegation, and this is really the way to bring humility in the heart. And this humility is the measure of knowledge, I'm telling. Now see, what we just did is that we went through a process of thinking about my place in the universe and how the universe transpires and how every single organism is responsible for the production of any praiseworthy thing in the universe. So when we are doing that, we are reflecting. That's called as vichar. And that vichar is supposed to lead to this humility. Now, there is total self-abnegation. Now, that is a measure of knowledge or not? It is, that thing is. I renounce that ownership of any claim to. It is called as Hanumanji is what you call as the one who has nireshana. Nireshana means he is devoid of the three eshanas. The three eshanas is lokeshana, vitteshana, putreshana. This lokeshana is the strongest one. All of us have some deep-seated desire. In all of us, there is a deep-seated desire to get name and fame and praise and commendation and notice and all this kind of thing. That's why he wants power and position and all that, because it's called as lokeshana in Sanskrit. So he's totally bereft of this lokeshana. And of course, the others also, vitteshana, desire for wealth, putreshana, desire for the opposite sex and all that. So, he nitya brahmachari. Eternal brahmachari, never got married, like that. All eshanas gone from Hanumanji. So, his reply to Bhagwan Ram is legendary. That self-abnegation is. Now, another way for us to become totally humble and for us to negate our own self-importance and all of that is what is called in Bhakti Margas Dasya Bhav. Dasya Bhav is really epitomized greatly by Hanumanji only. Dasya Bhav means I should learn to become the dasa, the servant of somebody or some cause, something, some greater force in this universe. This Dasya Bhav. This is called as Dasya Bhav. So Hanumanji feels he's a dasa. He's a servant of Bhagwan Ram. When he goes to Lanka, he sits on this Ashoka tree and he is relating the whole Ram Katha to Sita ji who is below. And she is listening to whole Ram Katha. And she doesn't know who is telling. This very sweet, ambrosial Katha of Bhagwan Ram. He is relating the whole thing. And she is enjoying. Like that. Sunatahi Sita kar dukha bhaga. All her sorrows went away also when she heard this Ram Katha. So now she said, well, who is relating this very sweet Katha of Bhagwan Ram? Why don't you show yourself? Please come. And then he comes down and she sees now this monkey. She sees a monkey. And again she became depressed. Because maybe it's one of Ravan's trick again. A monkey telling Ram Katha. And his immediate reply is, see, this again is Sundarkand. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Let's try in our rag which we sang today. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram राम दूत में मातु जाने की श्री राम जय राम राम दूत में मातु जाने की श्री राम जय राम सत्य शपथ करूं नानिधान की श्री राम जय राम राम दूत में मातु जाने की सत्य शपथ करुणा निदान की श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय रामदूत में मातु जानकी. How many things in the line this is the first time now he's seeing Sita ji. First time Sita ji is seeing him. This is Sundarkand. And the first word that comes out from his mouth, because when she sees him, she sees a monkey, and she's in a really dejected state already, because Ravan had tried many tricks and so many things. He had put an ultimatum also that if in 1 month you don't Maasa Divasa, in 1 month if you don't accede to my overtures and all, I will cut off your head and this and that and the other thing. So now, when he appears in front of her, the first word that comes out from his mouth, Rama. And she's there, Matu Janaki, word comes after. So Ram Dut mein. That I am the Duta of Rama. Ram Dut mein Matu Janaki. I am the Duta of Rama and Matu Janaki. Oh Mother Janaki, you are my mother. Like that. So, you think, na? He's firstly, Duta means also one of the meaning of Duta is Das, messenger, and Dasa also. I was telling, Dasya Bhav he has. So his identity is, I am a Dasa of Ram, a servant of Ram. First thing. Second thing is, immediately he tells, he calls her mother. So the idea is, let me tell you, no matter what you are, what you have done in this world, what you have achieved, where you have gone, and how big you have become, when you appear in front of mother, well, all your achievements come to one big fat zero. Correct or not? All achievements come to zero, really. He has just leaped over such a big ocean and killed all of these Rakshasas coming. Gave one blow to Lankini also. All this thing. Done. But when he comes in front of mother, it means to say the individual self dissolves in front of a mother actually. And that is why here he came in front. When he went in front of Bhagwan Ram, he went in a brahmachari's form. In front of Vibhishan also, he went into some other form. In front of everybody, he's going in some other form. Now when he's coming in front of Sitaji, Sitaji is petrified by monkeys. Time for him to take a form. Take some other form, he comes in as a monkey. Other times he's taking some other form. Dasharatha Maharaj has in the beginning of Ayodhya Kand there, when they were leaving, he said, Sitaji is going also. She is going to forest. They said, yes. What? How can she be? She is afraid even if she sees a picture of a monkey. What are you talking about monkey? But she is going. And now, this time now, when it is time to take a form, he comes as monkey only. So quickly from his mouth comes out, Rama Duta mein Matu Janaki. I am the Duta, the Dasa, messenger, servant of Ram. So, he sees himself in this Dasya Bhav. I told you, now see, pay attention to this. This comes in Bhakti Marg, so many bhavas are there. One is called a Dasya Bhav. Dasya Bhav means, I hold myself to be the servant of somebody, something, some cause, something in this world. That is a very effective way to get rid of this ego. Otherwise, what happens is, the person uses the other person to build the ego. And in spiritual paths, it is all about effacing the ego, isn't it? Eradicating, obliterating ego. And this Dasya Bhav is a very, very effective means of doing that. That is why in this tradition, this Guru is so important, you know. Kabir Das Ji Sahib writes at one place, you know what he tells? He said, anybody who doesn't understand the power of Guru or takes Guru lightly, he doesn't know this basic fact. What is this basic fact? He said, if Bhagwan gets angry with you, that Guru will be there to save you, you know. But if Guru gets angry with you, not only Bhagwan also cannot save. So some Guru, some sage, some Mahatma, somebody, we become a Das, a servant of that. That is why you see in our tradition, in the north, you all know that. All of the great sages and saints and all the people who we know, Tulsi Das, Kabir Das, Sur Das. Have you heard all of these words? Das word comes. Because they have all effaced their egos. So that is a means. And Hanumanji is perfectly really engage in the use of that means to erase that ego. Though there are some very interesting episodes where he demonstrates to us when the ego comes into play. When the ego comes into play, he demonstrates to us what happens. 2 times. I'll tell you. How much time I have again? Oh, no time. I have so many stories to tell, and all the time gone. It is said that once when he was coming back from Lanka, he leaped over the ocean. Leaped or leapt? Leapt? English? Who is the English teachers here? Leap or leapt? Leaped? He leaped over the ocean. So, he came on this side, and when he reached on this side, then he realized, I'm so thirsty. So there was a sage there, in a little ashram. So Sitaji had given him that chudamani, na? And she had also given back the ring in this story. Take it back to Bhagwan Ram. So the sage was on this side, on India side, and Hanumanji landed and he saw the sage in a little ashram. So he said, "Oh sage, I am so thirsty." Sage said, "Well, there's a very nice little spring here in my ashram. You can go there and drink." So he said, "But I don't want this ring and this chudamani, to get lost. You'll keep it for me till I go and drink." So that time, a thought came into Hanumanji's mind. And this is where, he's demonstrating how a little bit of abhiman can cause so many. A little bit of abhiman also should not be there. That is the idea. See, if I did not leap over this ocean and meet Sitaji, who Bhagwan Ram would have gotten to do this? That thought came. The same thing what I was telling just now. I told her, the thought should be, if Bhagwan Ram wants that thing done, he will get it done, whether I am there or not. So he said, no, you could go drink. You can leave the chudamani and the ring with me. He said, "Here, this is my kamandal. Put it in there." Kamandal, that little pot with a handle, water pot. Put it inside there. So Hanumanji dropped it in the kamandal and then went there to drink water and came back. Then he told that sage, "Please give me back that ring and that chudamani." He said, "Well, take it. It is right there in the kamandal. Why are you telling give it back? Put your hand in there and take it." So Hanumanji dipped inside it, his hand. And when he grabbed a handful of rings and chudamani. Now, and all of them identical. Now the one which Sitaji gave and Bhagwan's ring, now he could not distinguish. So he took up that kamandal and he looked inside and he saw there a mountain of rings and chudamani. Mountain. So, and then he could not tell one from the other. So he asked that sage, "Oh, Sitaji gave me this thing and I have to take it back to Bhagwan Ram. Then, now, my whole journey and everything spoiled. What I'll give to Ram now? And I have to give that one, the one which she gave me. I cannot give anyone. And where did you get all these rings and chudamani?" That sage said very nice thing. He said, "See, yuga after yuga after yuga, Rama comes, every Treta Yuga, And Hanumanji goes to Lanka. And he brings that ring and that Chudamani. And he puts it inside of here. And he cannot find the correct one. Yuga after yuga, he has a mountain inside that Kamandal. In other words, what the sage was telling him, you are thinking you went there and you did this and you achieved this, and if you were not there, how Bhagwan Ram would have done this. But like you, trillions of Hanumanjis have come already. So what you are doing is nothing special like that. Same thing happened when he was coming with that mountain. That one thought came. What is that thought? If I were not there, how Bhagwan Ram would have brought this mountain? Or find this Sanjeevani Bhuti? And the moment he thought that, Bharat shot him down. Dharam, and he fell down. When he fell down, he was unconscious for some time. And then Bharatji revived him. When Bharatji revived him, the first thing he asked, where is my mountain? Where is the mountain I was bringing? I came for the Sanjeevani Bhuti and I've taken it. That mountain had stayed up. So he fell and the mountain stayed up. He thought I was carrying this mountain. He realized, I'm not carrying this mountain. Bhagwan Ram is carrying that mountain. Stayed there only. 2 times later, he is demonstrating part of his Lord Shiva's avatar, part of his drama to show this ego has to be effaced in this way, thinking that I am holding it up, I am doing it, I am carrying it. Had I not done that, what would have happened? Like that, all those type of things. It will happen. So, this dasya bhav of Hanumanji makes him paropakari. Paropakari word means one who does the bidding and the work and the wishes of others. He is called paropakari. A proper sadhu. Sadhu also means same thing. Sadhu is paropakari. Parasadnoti iti sadhu, who does the work for others. In Rama avatar, he is Hanumanji. Pavanaputra Hanumanji. He is serving Ram. In Krishna avatar, he is Bhima, serving Krishna. In this recent Kali Yuga, he is the great founder of the Dvaita Vaishnava tradition, Madhavacharya. In this Kali Yuga also, same incarnation of Pavan. So, always serving other people. And he's taken this monkey form. Lord Shiva has taken monkey form to come. I call Hanuman. There are many, many derivatives for this Hanuman. Hanuman literally in Sanskrit means one who has a big chin. Not actually, it doesn't mean big chin. Big word is not there. Hanuman means one who has chin. Hanuman, man in Sanskrit, when you add to some word, it means possessing that thing. So man is possessing Hanu. Hanu means chin. So all of us is Hanuman. Because some of us double Hanuman. we all have chin. And in this Sundarkand, if you see, at one place, Tulsidashi calls him Hanu only. In Sundarkand, at one place, in Zoha number 40 or so, he doesn't call him Hanuman, he calls him Hanu. When I read that first time, I thought Hanuman was a Chinese. Chin. Because Hanu means chin. Anyway, so this is one meaning, a literal meaning of the word Hanuman means is the one with chin. Why he was called? Because Indra had struck him once. Indra Dev. With his Vajra on his chin. And then when he fell on his chin also. Poor fellow. So he called Hanuman. Another meaning of Hanuman in the Bhakti tradition is this. Hanu comes from Hanan. Hanan means to kill. And man has 2 meanings. Kill. Hanu from Hanan. Han in Sanskrit means to kill. It's proper Sanskrit word. And man has two meanings. Man means abhiman, ego. So he was perfectly killed the ego. Man also comes from man. Man means, in our Vedanta we describe about manonasha, destroying the mind. Really it is destroying the ego, the individual I. That is the idea. So he, now see what a wonderful achievement of Hanumanji. I think we'll have to end with this now because my time has expired. 8 o'clock I'm supposed to finish now. Was the watch is correct? Now it's saying 5 to 8. Alright. So, now, he has monkey form, and that's why I'm telling you monkey form, and then Hanuman named together. That's why I brought the two together, for this reason. See this. Monkey form in our tradition is restless mind. That is the symbolism of monkey. Restless mind. Arjuna describes the mind to Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Gita. He says, Prabhu, this mind is pramati balavad dhriram chanchalam hi mana Krishna. This mind is chanchal, fickle and stubborn and strong and persistent, and he goes on describing mind. That mind wants to do what it wants, and Swami Vivekananda used to describe mind like that. It's like a monkey. The mind is like a monkey, first of all, restless already. Then it's like a monkey that has drunk a bottle of alcohol. Well, now think that monkey how will be, what condition that monkey will be in. It is nothing. It's a monkey. The mind is like a monkey that has drunk a bottle of alcohol and that has been stung by a scorpion. Hey Krishna. Then he says it's not that, it's more than that. The mind is like a monkey that has drunk a bottle of alcohol and has been stung by a scorpion, and into whom a devil has entered. Kya baat hai? This is mind. So he says, this mind is represented by monkey in all the scriptures. Now here it is. Hanumanji has taken monkey form, but he is the one who has perfectly mastered the mind. Kill the mind. Hanuman. The destruction of the mind, and who has mastered his mind so perfectly, and he has become such a great das of Bhagwan Ram, and he does every order, carries out every order of Bhagwan Ram perfectly. When he goes there, I'll tell you a nice story. When he comes back, Anjani tells to him, when he goes to meet his mother one day, Anjani tells him, why are you so stupid? He says, what do you mean? Well, mother will tell the child anything. Up till today, my mother will tell me still, so I know. So Anjani tells, why are you so stupid? So he said, what do you mean? You gone near Lanka, you so powerful. You could have beat everybody in Lanka and kill Ravan also and bring Sita ji back. You would have get so much name and fame. Hanumanji says, very nice thing you see. First of all, you know that I just told you, all the Aishanas have gone. He doesn't want name, fame, power, position, all of these things. The Aishanas have all gone from him. But the other thing is, because he is a perfect messenger, das of Bhagwan Ram. Ram told to go there and find Sita ji and bring the news back to me. Ram did not give any order to go there and kill Ravan and conquer Lanka and all of that sort of thing, you see. Even Jambavan told that to him. When Jambavan reminded him of his power, Jambavan reminded him of that power. What? He realized, I'll not only go there and find Sita ji, I'll bring that whole Lanka with Sita ji and Ravan here to Ram. Jambavan said, calm down, calm down. Bhagwan Ram did not give all of these orders. Bhagwan Ram just said, you take a message to Sita ji. So his mind is perfectly controlled. He is a perfect diplomat. This Hanuman ji has so many qualities we can never finish. He's a musician. He is a doctor, an Ayurvedic doctor. Actually brought the Sanjeevani Bhuti and saved Lakshmana in Lanka. Later on, Shatrugna also fell on the battlefield. He went and again brought Sanjeevani Bhuti for Shatrugna also during one of the Ashwamedha Yajna. So many, so he knows merit because he had learned from Sushena. Ayurvedic doctor, musician, diplomat, perfect student. He learned from Surya Dev in one cycle of that sun, from sunrise to sunset. He learned every Veda, every knowledge. That also, Surya Bhagavan said, you cannot sit on the chariot, you have to be in front of me only. So floating, flying in front of the chariot. He learned from sunrise to sunset. All knowledge. We go for 2 years, 5 years and we still can't learn. Perfect student with dedication, with brilliance, with hard working, industrious, everything. The qualities are unmatched. The broadness of Hanumanji's personality is unmatched in scriptures actually. Okay, now I cannot go on telling you. Sakala guna nidhan. Tulsidas is there. When Tulsidas gets fed up, listing all the great qualities of Hanumanji. He says, Sakala guna nidhan. He is the host of every great conceivable quality. And finish. Because what else you will tell? Okay. So now it is 8 o'clock. Hanumanji requires a whole yajna actually. Not one day satsang is not enough. Alright, so let me just tell you a couple announcements.